But I did want to say, it looks like within the top 10, because again, we said this is a general list, so it covers all types of genres. Outside of Nirvana.
Man, fuck it, man. Good Kid, Mad City is not number 7 of all time. Let's stop the shit.
It's not. No,
let's stop the shit, bro. Let's stop the fucking shit. Spotify with these fake streams. Stop this shit, bro.
It's not even number 7 of the rap album.
Stop this shit. We all fuck with Kendrick, but stop the bullshit.
Yeah.
Number 7 of all. Yo, he's 5 slots behind Thriller. Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm starting to think there is something personal. What did Kendrick do to you?
No, there's nothing personal, but Good Kid, Mad City is a number 7.
No, it's not.
That's what I'm saying.
I won't take the angle Maul's taking, but if we're going to put a rap album in the top 10, it's My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy or nothing. Stop playing with this, like, the best rap, but that's it. Don't put Kendrick at 7 and My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy at like 26.
Yo, Good Kid, Mad City, great album.
Phenomenal.
Number 7? Like, what we doing here, man?
I want to argue with you, Maul, but they also have Blonde ahead of Songs in the Key of Life, so I don't even really know where to go with this argument.
Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, what we, 5?
And love Blonde.
That's criminal.
5?
Blonde to me is one of the greatest written albums I've heard in my lifetime.
This shit,
but it's
man.
To put it on a list above Stevie Wonder songs.
Stop this shit, bro.
And like, whether or not this plays
I get it. It was an Apple exclusive.
That's, yeah.
Fuck that Apple exclusive. I don't give a fuck about it being an Apple exclusive.
He was the other Apple exclusive.
Chance better not be on this list.
Y'all think Blonde is better than Channel Orange?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's a far more mature album, but I think I enjoy Channel Orange's songs more.
Channel Orange is much,
I enjoy
diverse,
it
but
more.
it has so much more range. Like, Channel Orange is a fun listen. Like, you could throw that on and go about your day.
Yeah.
Blonde is like a going from your 20s to your 30s mind fuck.
Like, so it's a you.
Sure.
Yeah. It's like
I know
an album.
It came out when I was 26, and then I lived with it into my 30s. I have been on this podcast saying I didn't like Blonde when it first came out.
I remember
when I turned 30, I went back to that album. I was like, this is probably one of the best written albums I've ever heard.
Blonde.
Number 5, though? Nah.
Number 5 is crazy.
Well, there's about
it's a classic. But
there's about a dozen R&B albums on here, and what I was going to say earlier,
R&B did not get any
on the top 10. There's only really 2 albums in the top 10 that aren't like R&B hip hop influence. I would say that's like Nirvana and the Beatles. But outside of that, the rest of these are pretty much like within our culture.
When you were scrolling through the list earlier, I just I didn't look at this shit once I saw what was number 1, but I saw that they had Missy Super Duper Fly ahead of Usher's Confessions.
And Missy's at 75, and
great album.
Usher is at 95.
Come on, fam.
Quick question: which number is 21 by Adele? Because 21 by Adele should be
made
number 15.
I was gonna say it's out.
Okay, all right.
Blueprints at 13.
Y'all putting that bullshit that high up? That needs to be up.
Oh, Radiohead has 2 albums on here. OK Computer and
why the fuck is Taylor Swift 18? Well, I'm not talking about this list no more.
And Kid A.
I would have loved to just be a fly on the wall in the room for this. Like,
we know.
How do you
know
go?
how that would have turned out?
How do you go?
Horsefly.
And an annoying ass fucking gnat.
Excuse me, bro.
You know that gnat that just fucking can't get rid of?
You wanted to be the fruit fly in the room?
Yeah.
That's what you want to be.
Fucking
gnat.
All the windows open, still can't find his way out.
Yeah, exactly.
You ever smack yourself by accident with a gnat? That's what I would have been.
Absolutely.
I just want to know how you get to the place of going, all right, The Chronic 19. Let's put Taylor Swift at 18. How do you even compare those two?
Yeah.
To list it that way. I'm not even here to debate which album is better. How do you even get to that conclusion of putting The Chronic and then Taylor Swift 19 and 18?
You could tell which one. You could tell which songs Ebro fought for. Like which albums. You could tell.
Discovery being Daft Punk's album on here is crazy. I would have done Random Access Memories. Like, even with some of the artists they picked, I would have picked a different album.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Listen, and I get with these. I thought
Beyonce's on there too.
Oh, that's Alanis Morissette Jagged. I thought it said Jagged Edge. I was about to be like, all right, man.
I'm yelling.
Well, I love Jagged Edge. What we doing here? What are we doing? What are we doing? I thought they had Jagged Edge at 31. I'm about to be like, yo, what are we doing here?
That's actually very funny.
Yeah, Beyonce's on here a couple times. Lemonade and Self-Titled at 36.
Every time I listen to 36 Chambers, I go right to Born to Run by Bruce Springsteen right after.
You have to.
That's just, how algorithms work.
Yeah, how else do you listen to that music?
This doesn't make sense. I don't get this. Like, how do you look at this run? Like,
we have to hold Ebro's feet to the fire a little bit, though. Because I remember vividly when he smoked the Complex staff. They did a Hot 97 interview, and I appreciated Ebro. He was like, yo, enough with this list shit. I need to see the people that did it come in here for an interview. 3 people from their staff writing list came in, and Ebro tore them the fuck apart as he should have. Everything Ebro tore them apart about, I feel like he did on this list.
Yeah, but that's how it goes.
You became everything you fought against, Ebro.
Yeah, but Apple came to him and told him to do his job, and he had to do his job. Which would you expect him to do?
Well, he fought for the low end theory. You know, he had to get that on there. That's the first album I bought.
Flower Boy's on here. That's cool.
Is it?
That's a great album.
Ahead of Confessions? Cut the shit, bro.
It's not ahead of Confessions.
I wouldn't know how to compare.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is? Okay, then you gotta yell.
No, I'm just saying. I'm looking. That's what I'm saying. This list is fucking crazy.
Combing through here in terms of recent albums, it looks like the most recent one, at least to my knowledge, is SZA's SOS at 72. How do you guys feel about that?
I mean, I think it's a
great album.
I think it will be revered as a classic as time goes.
Yes.
But it's better than Confessions. I'm not ready to make that claim.
Yeah, that's just insane. That's insane.
Yes, a lot of with lists like this too is time is kind of the enemy. Like it's hard to even compare what Low End Theory has done in the last 30 years as compared to what Good Kid, Mad City has done in the last 15. Like it's not even fair.
Is it? Because the top 2 albums on this list are a lot older than a lot of these albums up here.
I just feel like the new artists, you can't even bring them up yet because time hasn't even told us if this is the best.
And that's why, again, it's 7 for Good Kid, Mad City. Like, come on, man. I get it, but come on, dog. Like, let's try to be a little real, just a little bit. We ain't got to be all the way real.
All right,
but at least let's be a little real.
Why not? It is
number 7. What you just said, hasn't been long enough to say that.
I'm going off the credentials that Ebro tweeted. As far as impact, it is the modern day last rap classic that we can speak to. It defined a generation. It will be heralded the same way Illmatic. I used to say, I guarantee you in 50 years, they'll have that van on Urban Outfitters shirts. It's going to be the quintessential real hip hop album that also sold the way a pop album did. I could argue, yes, it could be in the top 10.
My Beautiful Dark Twisted.
I think Dave's better.
Going the hip hop route, it's not even close. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is better than this. If we're taking the hip hop classic, the most recent hip hop classics, if you put those 2 head to head, I love that Kendrick album. It's not fair. It's not close.
I wouldn't say that. Kanye West was already a superstar by that point. And that
doesn't matter where they're at in their career. We're talking purely on the album.
Let me finish. I'm saying the impact of what Good Kid, Mad City did in 2012, where rap was at, was insane. That a hip hop album like that could create a superstar like Kendrick Lamar. That would have been deemed an underground album 5 years prior to it. It wouldn't even been talked about. It defined an entire generation of real hip hop.
Listen, I love the album. I think the album's dope. I'm just saying number 7. That's just a little
in the totality of what's the oldest album on here?
Oof, I don't know.
Whatever. There's Beach Boy shit on here. So we're talking about decades on decades. Yeah, for a generation, Good Kid, Mad City was one of the most impactful shit for hip hop. Period. It was.
Can you talk about the impact? Like, what impact did it have?
We went from the Snap era. It really looked like hip hop was
the worst era in rap history.
It was fucking crazy.
That era was nasty.
The blog era came after, but that was the blog era. That wasn't anything that was on a huge pedestal. There was still good music coming out, but that type of rap was just underground bullshit at that point. Nobody want to hear lyric shit. If you want to, go listen to that shit in your computer by yourself. This was I hate to say, what's another word for real hip hop?
Authentic?
Real hip hop.
Authentic.
So you think Good Kid, Mad City has...
It was the first authentic album in God knows how many years that also superseded any type of underground stereotype. Like, it sold crazy. It toured crazy. It became the single moment where people were like, oh, rap still exists?
You think
on a A-list level.
You think that Good Kid, Mad City... Asking you, fuck this list. You think that Good Kid, Mad City deserves to be number 7 and Illmatic is number 48 or whatever it is?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Don't put me in that corner.
I'm just asking.
We were wondering.
I'm just asking.
And listen, I know I'm ranting because I didn't really think about this I am arguing kind of for the sake of arguing, but I do really understand Good Kid getting the credit it does.
It's a great
deserve.
album.
I don't at number 7.
Not at number 7.
it was
Purely
a-
based off the example I've said 3 times now. If we're talking one hip hop album, get it the fuck out of it. It's not
Like when
on there.
Illmatic came out, it kind of flopped, no?
I'm not gonna say flop.
We're not talking about how great the album is, but yeah, like
As far as sales,
it wasn't like a big,
It did 60 to 63,000 copies
yeah. And
And
being
that was
on,
back when people were buying
in
albums, so
94.
that's awful.
It
yeah,
debuted at
and he
number
was on
12.
Columbia, like it was viewed probably not as impactful to the masses because he was rapping even like that in 1994.
yeah, but rap wasn't
For
as
Kendrick
popular
Lamar
back
to
then.
rap like that in 2012, he was not like some sought out star. He didn't look like a star. He didn't act like a star. He didn't talk like a star. To make an album like Good Kid that I think is similar to an Illmatic of Genius in 2012 at a time when people thought authentic hip hop was dead, puts it in a different type of impact for me.
242,000 first week for
Yeah, but
That's crazy.
But that speaks to
In 2012.
when Illmatic came out on paper. Technically, hip hop was only 20 years old, 21 years old. Now in 2012, where hip hop was at, is one of the biggest
Yeah, but
genres
that
on
was
the
hip
planet.
hop's at its like first peak though. Like
When?
or at least
94?
approaching its first. I guess that's kind
yeah,
of
and I mean,
the early
rappers
end
were
of it.
selling in 94. And I'm not taking anything away from Illmatic in its impact as time went on. That's why I was saying some of this is kind of unfair because we saw the impact of Illmatic now for sure
Mhm.
and over the years. I'm saying Good Kid out the gate. You're like, this is something that has changed music, hip hop specifically, forever.
No worry and